Chris, team managed that game ever so well and got the reward for it.
Well, yeah, they played. Well, I thought we played some really good football, to be honest with you. Scored 2 great goals. I thought, because I did ask the midfield, well, especially Joe Riley, to take extra touch, be more composed. Not in his goal, but in his actual play. I thought he was excellent because he did. Helped really marshal that midfield, especially because we had a man down, because Crawley, they started out with a diamond, so they must have watched this Saturday and perhaps thought the matches, and we changed our shape from Saturday to start this game. But no, really good, really pleased for the players' efforts, because they have to deal with a lot of things on and off the pitch, but when they turn up and represent us to do that like that, I'm very pleased with them.
It was the energy and the tempo, wasn't it, that set the tone for the game?
Yeah, and the quality. The quality was there. It was some great football, great efforts, great crosses, some great chances. I think when we got in behind them, even the one the linesman flagged for offside, that Ozzy's saying he knew it was offside, but he should have put the ball in the back of the net. But no, it was good. The football was really good. Really pleased with them. Excellent effort.
And I think you've said this before, if you don't get a shot on target, you're never going to score. Joe's got it on target and possibly a little bit of luck, but that's the reward for that one. Yeah,
definitely. But I've been encouraging him to take the extra touch, to get near a goal. If you noticed, second half he did his curler. He had one touch and curled it. But I prefer him to take the second touch after that, because it just sets up a different type of shot. And he did that on the actual goal. Yeah, he's fortunate, but like you say, if you don't shoot, you don't score. He did hit it with a bit of power. It did take a wicked bounce off the turf. I'll give, can't deny that to the opposition goalkeeper. I wouldn't say he's made a rick. He's been unfortunate, but like you say, we definitely deserve to be 1-0 up at that point.
So we were screaming at Amari to pass it, and then it's in the back of the net. What a finish.
Well, yeah, but tactically, like Jack Armour had a free game tonight, and Crawley didn't really do anything about that first half, so he was constantly out in front of me, in front of the dugout, and his quality of crossing, etc., was very good. In fact, if anything, and I told him, in his contract, it doesn't say you're not allowed to score. So he can shoot stronger, better himself. He could have had a couple of goals himself, because he had that much freedom with the shape of the team that Crawley were playing. But yeah, I was shouting the same thing. But I have told the players there's freedom within what we're doing, within the structure, the framework we have. But if you choose a different choice, just make sure it works. Take responsibility for that. I mean, it's very difficult as a manager sometimes, because you can't play. Your plan and your prep for games is always very good, but it's unopposed. And then when it gets questioned, and put on its back foot, well, what we did tonight was not allow that. So the players have to take great credit for that.
We didn't allow ourselves to go on the back foot, did we? During this 90 minutes, we've kept going and wanted the third goal.
Yeah, but within that, we can make winning 2-0 easier. So at that point where Joel's driving forwards, Callum's driving forwards, Jimmy's taking the shot. Jimmy's taking the shot, and they hit a diagonal ball over Aaron Hayden, they're in on goal. There's different things you can do to control winning easier. That's what you get when you're teaching players them skills within the skills of playing so honestly. So to play so honestly is commendable. I think it's been something that we've represented in defeats as well. We have. We really have. They're not doing it on purpose, the individual mistakes they make or what's gone on. They haven't, and we have been in difficult circumstance. We have. But to do it like that and play so well, I'm really pleased. And we played really well on Saturday, we did. And we were rugged and dogged against Leighton, we were. So they've got the just rewards today, and with a bit more luck we could have had more points, but we haven't. So what we need to do now is look at where we are, look at what we are, look at the fact that we're one of the best teams in the league at playing at the home ground, which we are. So we've got to look after that from now to the end of the season. We've got 10 games to attack. We have, I think. Is it 10?
Yeah.
So there's 30 points to play for. And what we have to do is just recognise that and take every opportunity as an individual circumstance and give our best attributes towards that game. And I might have to pick, again, there's a couple of changes tonight, I might have to make a couple, I don't know. We'll have to assess as we progress towards playing a very good team that's trying their best to stay in the league. And the table doesn't make sense. You know, you've seen us put Cambridge on the back foot for 45 minutes with 19 shots at goal. It doesn't mean Southend's going to be like that. So we have to make sure we prepare correctly and we turn up.
Part of managing the game tonight is the clean sheet. I know that's something that they all pride, the team prides itself on that.
They do, and I'm pleased for Paul because I think it's his 10th. I'd have to check, but I do think it's his 10th. But I'm really pleased for him. And again, even in his communication, now I've talked to him about, like, we can get to the same point but in a different way. But nah, he's a real honest lad, but all of them are. So I'm really pleased for the lads tonight, I really am.
We've questioned confidence over the last few weeks in particular. It didn't look like a team that's lacking confidence tonight.
It's an easy one to throw at people, it really is. We were leading a lot of them games that we lost. So that's not confidence, that's just a lack of something happening within the game at the poignant part of the game that changes it for us, and then not being able to deal with the discrepancies. That's what that is, that's psychology. It's not, that isn't confidence to take ownership of that game. We've had dips, of course we have. We've not, thinking about it now, the Morecambe or something else along them lines where it's not gone quite right. Stevenage just sending off, it affected the game early doors. We started that game better than them, and then it made a major impact on the day. But in all the other fixtures, we've been very competitive and confident, but we're recovering and we've got something to attack. So I think if you're being really honest with everybody, I mean really honest, to be one of the lowest finance teams to be in this position in the league is well above where we should be. To have the honesty within the group and the opportunity to attack 10 games, I think we've got to jump on it. I think we've got to get behind it, and I think we've got to do our best within it.
Does this remind the group that if they stick to those traits that you've battered on about all season, good things come?
Yeah, and you know, we played a lot of football tonight, but we played a lot of football, and it doesn't surprise me when we get this beautiful weather when it can be. It makes everything better for us, it does. You have to have a game of two halves when the wind's so effective of what's going on, and we've utilised that to our advantage, but we've had discrepancies against it when we've tried to go against it, and it is difficult. But to have one of the best home records in the league is commendable with 10 games to go, and what we need to do is make sure we try and have the best one. I don't think we'll have the best away record, but we definitely have to affect that now to give an opportunity to a 10-game season. It's a 10-game season.
Does this lift the weight a little bit in that dressing room off the shoulders?
Yeah, well, you'd probably be better speaking to the players because, like I say, they do read and look into a lot of stuff. They really do, because there's one thing you can't critique this group of lads is being in this ridiculous circumstances that we are in and had, is they're not accessible. You know, they're bringing food in on Mondays for the local community. The you know, Reese is streaming about mental health, and you know, when we can't play, and they are accessible. So because of that access, they do read and listen to a lot of negativity, and unfortunately, in social media, it's massive, and it does affect. And there's a lot of influences in that. You know, businesses pay for influencers. They give money to people to influence. We have inside media where we can influence. It depends what you want to do. I want to attack the 10 games. If you want to join me, join me.
We know about Brennan, we know about Reese. What about Morgan Feeney and Danny Devine? Where are they at the moment?
Well, I did a bit of tackle. I've got this little tackle bag thing I do, and we didn't train that much on yesterday because for the first time since all this has happened, we actually hit the physical markers that we generally did regular before Boxing Day, before Walsall, before COVID. So on Saturday was the first time we've hit them physical statistics. So I thought, well done boys, we're now like getting back to where we are. And then I went easy on them a little bit yesterday in terms of prep. but I do a little thing, and Danny was involved in that with midfielders tackling, getting up, retain the ball, take a shot at goal, and he was just icing his knee after it. But he's fine. But it's like you have to take the player through the next stage of that. Obviously he's fit. He played in the reserve game, but he just wasn't quite right for tonight. Who else did you ask after? Morgan's. Well, hopefully, we're in this reserve cup. I don't know what even the competition's called, but the final to play Bournemouth. It's at St George's, and I think Sarah's having a word with Gav about looking at doing it a little bit later in the year. So hopefully Morgan can play in that too. But I think, without speaking to Ross, he's probably a couple of weeks, maybe a little bit longer. But you know, he's a great lad. His attitude's very, very good. His rehab's been clean. He's just getting on with it. You wouldn't even know if he's, you know. I know we've signed him to be involved and play with, like we have everybody. But yeah, he's not there yet, but he will be soon, hopefully.